Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Well, I got a great box in the mail this week. My friend Rebecca from Rubber Stamp Tapestry, the Peg Stamp people, sent me their new stamp sets that are coming out this Tuesday. I'm very excited about this. I was just thrilled that she would think enough of me to send me her new releases, and so I want to go over them with you, and then we're going to make a card. The first one is Autumn Glory. It's got mums. It's really cute. I just love those mums. Their flowers just are so spectacular. Then there's Greetings from Kansas. Again, you've got, look at the size. It's big. It's great big. It's probably an inch across. So cool. Then there's Autumn Elegance with pumpkins and gourds and greenery. Really cool. And then Itty Bitty Pumpkin Patch. So cute. Love it. And then Cactus Terrarium and Build a Prickly Pear Cactus. We are going to use these two sets today because I thought it would be so much fun to build a Prickly Pear Cactus and to do the Cactus Terrarium. So those are the two we're going to use today. And I'm going to flip them over and pull them out so you can see what we're using. These are all really nice size. And, oh, there's a good, wait a minute. That's cool. There's a turkey in there. I don't think that comes normally with that set. I got a turkey. I'm so excited. Maybe that came out of another set. Let me see. I don't know. I did have them open, so in case that turkey came out of another set, I'm not sure. I'm excited, though. I want a turkey. Very excited. Okay, so there's that set. I'll stand them up there for a second. And then here's the ones that we're going to build a set. And I keep mine in in Dollar Tree containers, and isn't that cool how I'm going to build it? It's so much fun. Anyway, I keep all of my stamps from the Peg Stamp people in a box. I'll show you at the end of the video so you know what I use, and it works really, really well. They fit perfectly in there. Before I get into our project, which is this card, I just wanted to tell you, I wanted to give you an update on our project for helping people who have been affected by the hurricanes and floods, and that is that in the next week or so, the great people at Rubber Stamp Tapestry, the Peg Stamp people, Rebecca and Donnie Walton, have donated a bunch of their stamps and other things for us to do a de-stash video. I have a lot of dies that one of my friends, Yvonne, donated, and we're going to be having a big de-stash video where 100% of the profits will go toward buying gift cards for the people that are not, like, if someone hasn't been basically adopted by someone else, then we're going to supplement, and we're going to try and fill as many as we can with that. So I'm hoping that you'll be excited about the de-stash video, and that you'll be have PayPal and be ready to buy some things, and I'll make sure I give you more information closer to that. If you want to check my blog or Facebook, I keep updating that every day or so with when we're going to be doing things. So that's the scoop. We are having a de-stash video, and it's going to be with a bunch of Rubber Stamp Tapestry, a bunch of dies, a bunch of just general things. Hope that you'll stay tuned and check that video out. With that, let's make this card. Before I go any further, I thought I would show you my storage because I don't want to forget. This is from the Dollar Tree, and it looks like this. And they come in different colors for the seasons, and my stamps fit perfectly in these. So I have 2 or 3 of them, okay, or 4, that I just put them in, and when one fills up, I go to the next one. I try to put them by theme. This is mostly flowers and leaves and branches. So just my thoughts for how to store those. Then when I use them, if you haven't seen me use them, I have this ice cube tray that is in the shape of stars. It works really great for holding them in place. It holds each stamp upright like that. You don't have to worry about not being able to see which ones you're using because they're all straight up and down, and as you use them, you see them. So when you're doing a card using one of these flip dies, and we're going to be using the AliExpress ones, you want to put your opening of your card to the right. This is a standard A2 size card, so it means it's 5.5 inches tall and 4.25 inches wide when it's closed. It's actually at 8.5 inches all the way across, like that. To divide in half, it's 4.25. Now it comes, the set that I bought from AliExpress comes with this. I used my circle already and punched out a circle in this color, and I'm going to be showing you that as soon as I finish this part. And then I'm going to line my ruler up so it's on the top. Hold on, I got to do it at the bottom part because I want to make sure it's straight. You want to have the bottom be at 2 1/8, which means on your ruler it's, depending on, if you count the dashes between 2 inches and 3 inches, it'll tell you if there's 16 or 8. If there's 8, then you would go to the first line. If there's 16 like mine has, then you would go to the second mark after the 2, and you're going to put your little die so that it is on that mark, and then you're going to tape it down like that. Then you're going to go to the top and you're going to do the same. Unfortunately with the top I have to kind of go onto the card because it's the only way I can make my ruler work, and that looks like it's at 2 1/8 already. I hope you can see that my cut is going to be there. Now this is going to ensure that my flip is on the right side of my card. You want the half circle to be toward your opening. That's important because you want that so that your flip fold flips back on itself. So we're going to go ahead and cut that out. But before I do that, I want to show you my sentiment. It came from this set of, they're all rectangles, and in the middle of it, the very smallest one, it says thanks, and it's in a stitch square. I want to make sure it fits right here, and it should. So I'm going to cut that out of the beige material because the inside of my card is going to be this green, this light green. So that's where we stand right now. And remember, when you cut this on your die cutting machine, you want to open your card so that you don't end up cutting through both layers. So I'll be right back as soon as I've cut both of these out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off our flip die and make sure it works. I had done this before and I'd used this die, but I didn't really know what I was doing as far as the flip card went, so I made it in green and screwed it all up. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of glad that I screwed it up because I didn't do a good job with building my cactus. So I'm kind of glad that I did that, so now I have a second chance to make it right. What you're going to want to do is, when you do this, you're going to fold that part back on itself, and then your card folds closed like this. And then since I'm putting this piece of paper inside, I might as well do that first. Let me get some tape runner. Make sure we cover the whole, get the whole thing laid down well. You know, everybody else does these things where they just put like one little dollop of glue on there, and theirs apparently stays in place. I put 100 pounds of glue on it, and still mine doesn't stay in place sometimes. So I try to be as careful as possible. Now I cut mine about 4 1/8 instead of 4 1/4, so that I have the ability to fold my card closed, and that's what it's going to look like. So I got my pot from this set from Rubber Stamp Tapestry called Lots of Pots, and they already have the masking built into their pots. I think that's really a smart way of doing things, and I think what I'm going to do is stamp this one kind of front and center, maybe over to the right a little bit. Hopefully I'm in the right spot. Yeah, it's a little bit crooked. Then I'm going to cover that one with this little mask. And hopefully I won't mess up with the other one, because the other one I'm doing is this one that's kind of off to the side. So I'm going to do that in this old olive. Well, let's see how those did. Not too horrible. Then I think I'm going to put this littler one on top. Oh, I don't need that mask. I need the other mask. Crazy. Put it back where I had it. Okay. It's kind of frisky. Thing right here. And then hopefully and I think I'm just going to get some colors and color in my pot. The three colors I'm going to use are 93, 95, and 98. I'm going to do most with 93 and then not much with the other two, I don't think. I'm going to use 102, 42, and 43 for my cactuses, I think. And see if I can make the color on these two on the side. I'm going to see if I can kind of pull some of this color out, because it's too dark and it took up the it eliminated all of the highlights of our cactus, so we have to fix that. So that's what I'm doing now. And then I'm going to do, this one is number 169, it's putty. Since I screwed up the other card, I have this from the other card, and I love this. I thought it really came out well, nice, whatever. And so I just wanted to take some of your regular old paper distress ink and a scrap paper, and I'm going to take one of my chip brushes. If you've never seen me use these, I buy 1-inch chip brushes from Harbor Freight Liquidators. I think that's what they're called. And I cut about 3/4 of an inch off straight across so that the brushes really work well. If you leave that extra on, you will not like the way these brushes perform. Then I kind of just go off the side, making sure that I've got my brush loaded up with some ink, and then just start brushing around the edges. I just like to have a little bit of different color on my on something that's going to be on the paper that's the same color. I hope that made sense. If you don't like the way this looks, because the other inks are alcohol inks on this, I can wet this and make my distress ink look a little more blended if I don't like the blend that I have here. It's up to you how you do it. And the other thing that you can do is when you do add a little bit of water, you can lighten it. So if you think it's too dark or if it's too smeary or if it's too something, it gives you the option to play with it a little bit. I'm going to get this edge a little bit better. And because I told you about the water thing, I think I'll spray it just a little bit so you can see it. Do this. And that takes some of the color off. Background. Now I can set this aside and let it dry while I'm doing everything else. Alright, so our next step is going to be to use our stamps on this. And remember, this is going to be where we put our cactus, so we don't need to worry about that. Then this flip part, we can do something on the back of it. We could put another piece of green paper there if we wanted to. It's completely up to you how you do that, but I think most people just kind of do this. Not much action there. And then I have my punch out of the word thanks, and I'm going to brush over it as well. So that's what it looks like right now. I'll let that dry. What I want to do is I want to build a cactus on one side, and I'm going to use this archival pigment ink. I'm going to go with this biggest cactus. You want to make sure when you're doing this that line is directly in front of you, because if you don't make sure that line is directly in front of you, then your cactus is going to not be straight. It's going to be kind of off kilter, and you don't want that. And I'm going to hold it down for a second to make sure it stays in place. These are Touch 5 markers, and these are the ones I think I'm going to use. Those are 36, 43, 42, 93, 98, 95, 102, 169, 173, 174, 0, and if I missed any, those are them. So hopefully you've seen all the colors. And I always put a swatch on each marker so I know what they look like, so you can see them. Another thing you can do is if you have a color like this one that you know is too dark, you can take your blender marker and you can take them tip to tip like this, so that your alcohol, the colorless blender, absorbs some of that green, and then you go right from that to your project, and then that blends that green in. When I bought my alcohol markers, I bought 168 colors. I didn't know how I would be able to figure out what colors I would need when I'm going to do a particular project. So in this case, I think I need to do like this 175, 174. So let me find those. Okay, so now I've got my little darker colors. Will be 175. And 174 were the ones that it recommended. My book did. And that would be this one. So I'm going to give this one a shot. See if it makes it a little bit darker. Yeah, I like that color a lot better. I stamped the flip part because I'm not going to color that because I don't want to have to do anything to the inside of the card, and if I do color that, then the problem is I'm going to have this bleed through like I have here. I am going to cover this with maybe, I don't know, washi tape or something. I just have to figure out a sticker or something that'll make that go away. Anyway, so our next step is to color this in. I didn't do it yet, and I want to make sure I get all of these colored in. After I'm done with this, I'm going to stamp some greenery in and around there so that I have that in there. Looks like it's the same color. Probably is the same color. That's how nuts I am. I use the same color again. See if this color is darker. That's darker. Okay, I'll go back over it with the lighter. Blend them together so they look more cohesive. Okay, that is those. I'm not crazy about the color of those green ones. They're just a little bit too something. Don't know what. So I'm going to go around the outside edge with the darker green and then try and blend it into the center with the lighter green. I did that already once, but it didn't seem to work as much as I wanted it to. I just take one of these and see if I can blend it in. Better than it was. Try this one. I'm not looking for the definition like the lines in there. I'm just looking for that green to move around enough that you don't see the lines, you just see the definition of, you just kind of, it just lends your eye to thinking there's another color in there. Okay, that's better than it was. I can't find a color that's just the right in-between color. I tried every color I have and none of them seem to want to be dark enough. This one's a little bit darker. None of them want to play my game the way I want them to, if you know what I mean. Okay. Go with them. And I'm going to put a little bit darker shade. And then I'm going to go around the edges of my, I'm going to do some distressing around the edges of my paper to bring that into a more cohesive look. At this point, I think I'm going to put some greenery in. I went around all the edges with my old paper distress ink, and now I'm going to use some, it's Always Artichoke is my color. Yeah, Always Artichoke from Stampin' Up. An oldie but a goodie, and I'm going to use this little fern and kind of go in around. Okay, then I'm going to color that in with a little of this lighter tone. Then all we need to do is take this out and put in our thanks that I have to find right there. It's still not very dry. I'm gonna hit it with my heat tool, I think. That way we'll be sure to have it dry. So I'm gonna put some of these little pop-up foam pieces from Dollar Tree. Okay, so that's that part. And I'm going to center that. Okay, then I'm going to run this through my Xyron machine because I think that's the easiest way to get something to attach that you don't have a good system for. So I ran it through my Xyron, and that's what it looks like. And then let's see if I can get it off, because it's still a little wet. Center that in there. So here it is so far. I'm not sure if I want to do anything else to it or not. I think it looks pretty good. I have one little spot of ink on the inside right there. It's bugging me a little bit. I'm going to have to see if I can get that off with my blender brush or blender marker. At least it gets it a little bit off. Okay, so then what we're going to do is we're going to stamp the back. I made this for you, and then we're going to get our envelope, and instead of doing the stamps all over it, I think I'm just going to do this green one because I thought it was really frisky when I used it on the card. Okay, that ought to do it. So then all we're going to do is put the washi tape on the back in that spot that was a little bit weird. This washi matches it. I'm going to see if it'll cover it up or if I'm going to have to go with the paper kind. So we're going to go with this washi. If you hear that squeaky thing, that's my crazy dogs. They're having a little fun playing with each other, and they always like to create havoc when I'm on the video. That's always the way it works. Okay, so there is our card. It's a flip fold. It's the first one I've ever made, and I think it came out okay. I hope you enjoyed this and that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And please tell one friend about me on social media because I really appreciate that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.